News 2, an update from VI elections on the ratification of the 2014 primary election results now that both districts have certified. After an odor investigation and school closure earlier this year because of the aging sewer system at Central High School, has the work been completed in time for the first day of school? Plus an update on the strange black residue covering everything west of the airport on St. Croix. Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast tonight, the St. Thomas St. John Board of Elections certified the primaries last week through an emergency meeting held Tuesday. But in another special meeting this Monday morning, it turns out that certification may not have counted at all. Did the board finally manage to certify the district primaries? News2's April Knight has that story.
What was supposed to be a simple meeting to ratify the certification of the St. Thomas St. John Board of Elections turned out to be more complicated, as that initial certification was called into question, whether it was valid at all. On August 19th, the board said they needed to ratify because the St. Thomas results were certified under special circumstances. The primaries were certified at the time by allowing board member Alicia Wells to vote via telephone and sign electronically, which is normally not allowed. The special circumstances of the meeting, they said, called for a ratification of a board with a physically present quorum. This Monday was the board's third attempt to put the primaries behind them. They also tried to certify on August 18th, but failed when board member Wilma Marsh Monsanto did not show up as expected.
Wilma Marsh Monsanto willfully decided not to make the quorum.
I gave it some thought and I realized that I was being put in a position where all they wanted was a body so they can say they have a quorum, and I was not going to take part in that.
The absence of most of the board at a critical time outraged some community members who claimed to have lost faith in the district board.
Board members have broken all the laws. You have to be physically present to certify an election.
You're telling me that I can't travel? That's what you're suggesting? There's nothing that says a board member must stay in St. Thomas or stay someplace for any particular time.
The board ended up certifying the primaries again with 5 yeas.
There's no penalty, there's no sanctions, there's nothing that in fact occurs because of the late certification.
Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
In other news, Fitch Ratings, a national bond rating agency based in New York, has this week reaffirmed its outstanding investment grade ratings on the Public Finance Authority's matching fund revenue bonds, including its BBB on the senior bonds. Now, those bonds have been a critical source of government funding for capital projects and have also been used to finance government operating costs in the wake of the Great Recession. Fitch assigned a stable outlook to all of the outstanding obligations. Governor DeYoung says this action is a timely reaffirmation of the solid condition of our outstanding bonds, coming on the heels of the affirmation in June of our gross receipts taxes bond ratings by Fitch, as well as Standard & Poor's. This provides one more vote of confidence by the investment community. Well, time for our back-to-school checklist as administrators, teachers, valued support staff, and students begin returning back to campus. The Department of Education's Commissioner Donna Fred Gregory offers a back-to-school message and best wishes for the new school year.
It is my pleasure to welcome our students and staff back for what we hope will be a very productive 2014-2015 school year. While we have had to deal with a number of challenges, I want to assure all that the department has been steadfast over the last few months in putting in the frameworks we need to support our students, our teachers, and administrators. As we move into the new year, we continue to focus on the integration of the Common Core state standards. These new standards will help our children develop the critical thinking, problem solving, and analytical skills they need while preparing them for a new online assessment in the spring of 2015. As we develop our students, we are also focused this year in supporting our teachers. I am truly excited about our professional development initiatives, which will give our educators access to the resources and technical assistance they need to be truly successful in the classroom.
Meanwhile, students have been heading back to school for the last couple of weeks, and next week, public schools will be back in session. In an update, the students at Central High won't have to worry about double sessions anymore. When they start Tuesday, they'll be back to familiar surroundings. News2's Erica Parsons has the story.
Central High students are heading back home to their own campus for the first day of school.
I'm happy. I'm just really happy.
Construction crews completed the work to fix a sewage drainage problem that closed the school back in March. The school superintendent says the sewer problem should not be an issue again.
They have entirely replaced the storm drain system as well as the sewer system, so there's an entirely new system there. Waste management has done what they need to do on the beginning of the road on Queen Mary to ensure that whatever is happening with the flow of the sewage on the main road doesn't impact the school.
Central High and Complex High School students had double sessions for the last 3 months of last school year, while local agencies worked to diagnose and address the cause of the smell. Now the school's officials are ready to welcome the students back.
We have been through a ringer, but we're doing well now, and I know all my students, I know you're excited to come back home. It felt good to walk through the grounds and in your office. Again, I want to thank Complex for accommodating us. But it's good to be home.
Education officials tell us the governor's office helped to coordinate some of the cleanup efforts, so they're especially thankful to WAPA for trimming back some of the trees like you see behind me, as well as the fire department who did the initial power washing of the school's buildings.
The Bureau of Corrections, they're helping us supply us with some prisoners that assisted us, some inmates that assisted us with helping the power washing, getting the gutters clear and power washing to prepare for painting. Our custodian workers are in starting their prep work, and then we do have 2 professional cleaners in there as well. So the goal is to be ready for September 2nd.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
And as a reminder to Central High parents, there is orientation for juniors and seniors Tuesday at the school's gymnasium, 8 to 11 for all 12th graders and 1 to 4 for all 11th graders. Now on Wednesday, 10th graders have orientation from 8 to 11 a.m. and all 9th graders have orientation from 1 to 4. Remember, all students must wear school uniform to attend the orientation. Parents are expected to attend and be ready to pay school fees. Meanwhile, the halls at Ricardo Richards School got a facelift Saturday. 3 community groups joined together to put a fresh coat of paint on all the school's hallways. American Legion Post 102's former commander, Annie Day Henry, spearheaded the makeover. Through fundraising, Post 102 was able to buy the paint and supplies for the project for their adopted school. Post 102 was joined by members of the local chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen and the Youth Aviation Club. The group also donated a number of new garbage bins. In other news, on Friday, News2 told you about Senator Kenneth Gitten's request for a special meeting to investigate the cause and source of black fungus appearing in areas west of the rum factory. Gittin said he's not pointing fingers at the Diageo refinery, but there are similar cases in states where the company operates. A Diageo spokesperson responded late Friday saying, "At Diageo, we are committed to maintaining the highest level of environmental standards and supporting the communities in which we operate, and we are taking this matter very seriously. While we are sympathetic to the concerns raised by some St. Croix residents, we believe that the blackening of some buildings and structures is due to naturally occurring mold found widely throughout the environment, including areas unrelated to the production of rum. We do not believe that our operations have caused any harm to property or pose any threat to health." Be sure to count on 2 to keep you updated. Turning our attention overseas, the family of 18-year-old Michael Brown is asking for peace as they lay their son to rest at the Friendly Temple Missionary Baptist Church. Brown was killed on August 9th by a white police officer in Ferguson, Missouri. Thousands of mourners expected to gather outside the church. The young man's father has called for a day of silence so they can lay their son to rest peacefully. Also in other news, President Obama met with Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel at the White House on Monday. The Pentagon is getting plans ready in case the president orders strikes in Syria. Be sure to tune in to CBS Evening News. Keeping our eye on the economy, investors go into the final week of August with a laundry list of economic data to wade through. One of the highlights is the second estimate of second quarter growth. It's likely to show a rebound from the first quarter figures that were dragged down by severe winter weather across much of the country. Here's a look at the New York Stock Exchange with our Stock Market Watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all up. The Dow 75, Nasdaq 18, S&P 8. Coming up on News 2, the Finance Committee met to hear testimony from VI Carnival Committee, Croix Christmas Carnival, and St. John Festival, as well as the Casino Control Commission. We'll have an update. Plus, a new VI idol has emerged. The winner is Monique Chapdelaine of Tortola. She presented a show-stopping performance. Coming up next. Well, this is the last week for some students to take advantage of the free time to enjoy some summer fun since it's back to school time. However, you can still take advantage of some of the events over the weekend. Now, here on St. Thomas, here's an option. Winners Miniature Golf and Amusement is an option. That's at the Sugar Bay Beach Resort. Now, this entertainment center consists of a 9-hole mini golf course, bumper boats, an arcade, tennis courts, a food concession stand, and activities room with television. It's all part of Wyndham Sugar Bay Resort, but open to those not staying at the hotel. Be sure to call the hotel for more information. The Virgin Islands' biggest music competition was held this weekend. The VI Idols Elimination Show brought out many talented people from 54 narrowed down to 13. But only one emerged as the winner on Saturday at the Right Goal, and her name is Monique Chapdelaine of Tortola. She sang I'm Ready to Love, bringing down the house and wowing the celebrity panel of judges. Now, among her prizes, a music video and accommodations for a platinum studio single recordings with a Grammy-winning songwriter's assistance. Now, many tuned in here on CBS TV2 last Thursday for the sizzle reel of the VI Idol reality show, a little tease. It's called Voices of the Virgin Islands. It's a new Virgin Islands reality show based around the competition and all the participants, their journeys. Now, be sure to tune in for details on when that show will air. The Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority, in partnership with the University of the Virgin Islands Student Affairs Counseling and Career Services, will host the Virgin Islands Economic Development Commission's Career Fair this month. Now, this free event will be held on St. Croix at the University of the Virgin Islands Great Hall. That's on Tuesday, August 26th, and on St. Thomas at the University of the Virgin Islands Sports and Fitness Center on Thursday, August 28th. Both from 9 a.m. to 12. VI high school, college students, and the general public will be provided with opportunities about various jobs that are available through the beneficiaries under the VI EDA's Economic Development Commission program. The Senate Finance Committee met Monday at the Earl B. Otley Legislative Hall in St. Thomas to hear several budgetary requests, including those of the Virgin Islands Carnival Committee, the Croix Carnival Committee, and the St. John Festival and Cultural Organization. One of the concerns of the committee members was the payment made to some artists who are contracted to perform but end up not performing at all.
Something is wrong with that. I don't see how a performer, after the fact, unless it's something they've been accustomed to, can come after the fact telling you that, hey, where's my per diem and where's my amount for my luggage. That's nowhere in the contract. There's nowhere in discussion. That's nowhere to be heard at that point.
In other news, many were marching on the waterfront to show their support as they joined One Voice Virgin Islands on Sunday for a pro-family march and concert in support of traditional marriage. Now, hundreds showed up for the cause. And then also along the sidelines were members of Virgin Islands Equality for All and Gay Pride VI. They held a celebration on Megan's Bay on Sunday with a recurring message to celebrate and support marriage equality in the Virgin Islands. The march began from the Adelita Cancrine Junior High School and ended at the Emancipation Garden with a concert that followed. The USVI chapter of the American Red Cross recruited some new volunteers on St. John. People interested in helping their neighbors in times of need participated in the two-day meeting at the Bethany Moravian Church on Friday, August 15th, And Saturday, August 16th, the two-day meeting provided an orientation of the Red Cross's services provided in the community and its role in disaster relief. The American Red Cross disaster responders have expertise in damage assessment, mass care, health service, disaster, mental health, and client casework. Participants included the Bethany Moravian Church, Pastor Vankees Isaac, Coral Bay Fire Station, and the Myra Keating Clinic, along with the Department of Human Services. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.